You want to start it off?
No, because you knew what to say, right?
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while.
Yes.
Okay, well it's good enough. Today we'll be teaching you how to squat. So first, what you want to do is make sure the bar is set up properly around your shoulder height. The common mistake that people they set the bar above their shoulders, which is too high. This will cause you to tiptoe in order to re-rack the bar, which is dangerous, especially when you start lifting heavier. Another mistake is setting the bar too low. Raise the bar, raise your standards. You are worth it. Anyway, this can really throw off your form when you try to re-rack the weight because you have to bend forward a lot. When you re-rack the bar, don't do it one side at a time. I see this a lot in the gym and it's very unsafe because it can throw off your balance. What you need to do is walk right into the rack and then check both sides of the bar to see that they're actually above those placeholders so the bar sits there and not on you. There. Now we'll discuss hand placement. The wider your hands, the easier it is on your shoulders because the more narrow your hand placement is, the tighter your shoulders will feel. For reference, there are rings on the bar. Whichever ring is more suitable for you, place your pinky on one of them and that will be your hand placement. Now, where you place the bar on your back is really important so your neck doesn't get hurt. What we're doing here is a high bar squat. There's also a low bar squat where the bar is, lower on your back, but for the sake of giving our unlicensed but professional advice regarding the basics, place the bar a little bit lower than your upper traps and squeeze your shoulder blades together so that the bar is resting on a solid foundation. Looking at the placement of our feet, even though we're not performing the squat yet, but getting ready to squat, it's still important to know how to unrack the bar properly. Make sure your feet are hip width apart and your toes are pointing slightly outward. Now you're gonna have to take a few steps back to perform the reps, but make sure you reposition yourself before you do those. Now this is one of the most, if not the most important part of squatting, hitting depth. You have to hit at least 90 degrees, which means your legs are parallel to the ground. They say like ass to grass, but you can if you want to. I know I go lower than parallel, but parallel is the minimum. 90 degrees is the minimum. If you're above that, the squat does not count. It doesn't count. Now notice how his knees are kind of going a bit past his toes. You want to avoid that, make sure it stays behind the toes just to take the pressure off the knees. You have to sit back a lot and make sure that the weight is distributed between your heels and the middle of your feet. It should never be on your toes. You should never feel the weight on your toes. So imagine yourself, sitting back to take a crap on the toilet. It's kind of like that, where you act like you're sitting down. In order to maintain good form throughout the movement, make sure your back isn't curving too much, nor is it overarching. It has to be perfectly flat. And what helps with this is tensing your core because it helps stabilize your spine. This will take some getting used to, especially if you're new, because typically people's hips are tight from sitting down all day at work or at school. So you're gonna have to just keep practicing the movement before you start loading on weight.
Thought I had my mask on, I did this.
Wow. Well, we're keeping that.
Okay.
So it's important to remember. It's important to remember. It's important to remember. That sounds so weird. Remember not to forget. So that was the squat.
What the
As you progress, your legs will get sore. Your back should never hurt from squatting. If it is, you're doing something wrong.
Is that the extra information we have in the end? Is that just like the extra information we have in the end?
Yeah.
That's all we have for you guys today.
Until next time, see you later.